Hello students, welcome to lecture of kinematics and theory of machine. Myself Professor Shailesh Patel, and we are going to continue chapter belt drive, and in this lecture we will cover the centrifugal tension in a belt drive. So first of all, what is the centrifugal tension? If you consider the mass of the belt up to this point, we have ignored the mass of the belt. If you consider the mass of the belt, some mass will be there, and it's external, means if you consider the mass of this belt, due to this high RPM, the motion, the centrifugal force of this mass will be in outward direction. Centrifugal force will be in outward direction, and we have to consider that, because due to the mass of this belt, some tension increase in a tight side and slack side. Due to this centrifugal tension, Fc is the centrifugal force, and due to that force in this direction, the tension in a belt in a tight side and slack side, means total in belt, the tension is increased, and this tension we denoted by Tc, center tension due to centrifugal force. Okay. So we have to consider this centrifugal force. So centrifugal force is, so when we are considering the mass of the belt, centrifugal force of that mass in outward direction increase the tension on a both tight side as well as slack side. The tension caused by the centrifugal force is called centrifugal tension, and in this case we have considered m is a mass of belt per unit length in kg. Remember that unit of this mass is not only kg but unit length. Okay, mass per unit length. Okay, so it will be kg per meter or kg per mm, something like that. Okay, after that the velocity of belt v in meter per second. Then radius of the pulley is we have taken here driven pulley. Okay, so r is a radius of pulley over which the belt is rotating, and centrifugal tension is a Tc. Okay, at which is acting in a P and Q point on a opposite direction. So Tc is a centrifugal tension acting tangentially on a P and Q. You can see there is a P point here in this direction, and on Q in this direction, tangential on a pulley. Okay. So first of all, we have considered the small element PQ. We have considered here small element is this PQ, and right now for this small element, what will be the mass of this element PQ? We know that mass of the belt per unit length is given m. So if we find the length of this PQ and multiply by this unit length, we can find the length of mass of this PQ. So what is the length of this PQ? We can find by this radius is given and theta is given. Okay, so arc is equal to radius into theta, and mass of that arc PQ will be the mass per unit length into length of that arc. Okay, now we know the centrifugal force due to mass is mv square by r. Okay, so for this particular PQ element, what is the centrifugal force? mv square by r, and m is the mass of that element, which we have put it, the mass of element is m r d theta. So we can write the mass as a m r d theta v square by mv square by r. So in this case we have eliminated here r is eliminated, and this formula become centrifugal force acting on that PQ element is equal to m d theta into v square. Okay, so this is the centrifugal force acting on that PQ. So this is the centrifugal force which acting on this PQ. Now we have to consider horizontal component of all forces. So first of all, horizontal force in this direction is equal to Fc, centrifugal force, and in this direction you can take the element, you can check here T centrifugal tension in this direction, and you can write the sine component in this direction, and same as sine component of centrifugal tension on Q point. So you can write this as this Tc sin theta by 2 plus Tc sin theta by 2 is equal to negative x direction Fc, centrifugal force. So you can check here, Fc is equal to m d theta into v square, and this sine d theta by 2, d theta is a very small angle, so when theta is very small, you can write the sine theta is equal to theta directly. So you can put this 2 value as a theta by 2, and 2 times theta by 2 is equal to d theta. Okay, so it will become Tc d theta. Okay, Tc 2 Tc d theta by 2, 2 eliminated here, 2. So you will get the Tc, centrifugal tension, is equal to mv square. M is a mass of belt, but remember that centrifugal force is equal to mv square, but in m is a mass per unit length. Okay, if m is equal to 5 given, 5 kg per meter, means per meter mass will be 5 kg. If our belt is totally 20 meter, then we have to multiply this 5 into this 20. Okay, so whenever we have to take a account, whenever we have to consider centrifugal force in a tension, we have to add this centrifugal tension in a tight side and slack side. Okay, so power transmitted is a P is equal to T1 minus T2 into velocity, but right now the tension in a tight side and slack side is minorly changed because centrifugal tension is added in both tight side and slack side. So you can write this as a T1 plus Tc minus T2 plus Tc into V. So here you can check that Tc and Tc is eliminated. So our final equation is a not change, T1 minus T2 into V. Power is equal to, you can write this T1 minus T2 into V, which is not change, means centrifugal force is not affect the power transmitted by the belt because it is working on both sides, tight side and slack side. So there is no difference between effective tension. Okay. Now we are going to find the maximum tension in a belt while considering the centrifugal tension. Okay. So first of all, as you know, the T1 minus T2 into velocity, which is the power we can get here. So what is a T1? You know that T1 is a tension in the right side and T2 is a tension in the slack side. Remember that. But whenever we consider the centrifugal tension, our total tension is equal to tight side plus centrifugal tension, and in slack side is equal to T2 plus Tc. Okay. Okay, and you know that the relation between relation between T1 upon T2 is equal to e raised to mu theta. So if you make the subject here T2, you can write this. You can write this T2 is equal to T1 upon e raised to mu theta. Okay, and this value you will put in here equation of power. So you can write the equation of power like this: T1 minus T2 is equal to, you have put at the value T1 upon e raised to mu theta into V. You will carry out this T1 here and T1 common. Okay, so you can write this T1 1 minus 1 upon e raised to mu theta. But you can check here this value is totally constant. Okay, so it is not varying because if the belt is moving, E, mu and theta is fixed for any particular assembly. It is not changing. Okay, so you can write this as another constant like C. So P is equal to T1 V C, and C is a 1 minus 1 upon. Okay, so this total term we have taken as a C, and you can write this. Okay, so P is equal to, power is equal to T1 velocity, and C is a constant whose value is 1 minus 1 upon e raised to mu theta. Okay, so what is the T1? T1 is a tension in a tight side. And what is the total tension? Total tension is equal to tight side tension plus centrifugal tension. So you can write this T1 is equal to here total tension minus centrifugal tension. You can write this tight side tension in a tight side is equal to total tension minus centrifugal tension. So you will put this value in here, T minus Tc into velocity into C. But you know that centrifugal tension, value of centrifugal tension is equal to mv square. Okay, any centrifugal tension you can write this mv square, and if you open this bracket you will find the T Vc and mv cube C. Okay, so we have to find the maximum power what will be the maximum power we can get from any belt drive? When this, you can see this equation here, power is equal to what you can see, tension into velocity minus mass into velocity cube into c is a constant. So it is a totally depend upon the velocity. How much power you can transmit by the any belt drive, it totally depend upon the velocity. When you can say that when you differentiate of power with respect to velocity is equal to 0, then the power will be, if power is equal to this equation, you can say that differentiation of this power with respect to velocity is equal to 0, then the power will be maximum. So you will derive this equation with respect to v. Okay, so here you can see that there is a velocity is here v and here v cube, and this is the constant. Okay, so t v differentiation of v is equal to 1 and mv cube, so v cube is equal to become 3v square. Okay, and this term will be defined. Okay, and total tension is equal to 3mv square, and you know that what is the mv square? You have already written here, centrifugal tension is equal to mv square. So you can write this here, T is equal to 3Tc, means maximum tension you can put in a belt is equal to 3 times centrifugal tension. Okay, if you want to find the maximum velocity in a belt drive, you can find by this, making this velocity as a subject, and it will find as a under root T upon 3m, and you can find this. Okay, so that is the velocity is equal to under root total tension divided by 3m. M is a mass per unit length. Okay, okay, you know that the cross section of any belt drive is like this, and there is a b, sorry, this is a b is a width and a t is a thickness. So if it transmitting the maximum tension, t, what will be the width and thickness? So maximum tension is equal to maximum stress into area, because you know that, as you know that maximum stress is equal to force upon area. So what will be the force? You know that tension is a one type of force. So tension means force is equal to stress into area, and for belt, the cross section of belt is like this, and you can say here this is the b here, width, and t is a thickness. So you can write this, tension is equal to stress into bt. This sigma here, sigma is stress, and this cross section is from this b into t. So sigma b t. Okay, what is this t? T is the maximum tension. When centrifugal force is considered, if you consider the centrifugal force, this t is equal to like this, tight side tension in a tight side plus centrifugal tension, or you can write this directly if you neglect the centrifugal tension is okay from the belt drive. Now let's understand the initial tension in a belt. Okay, let's so when the pulleys are stationary, the belt subjected to some tension, this is called initial tension. And when pulley is rotating, some tight side and slack side value we already know that, but you can check this, the increase in a tension in a tight side is equal to tight side minus this initial tension, because you can say that if the driven pulley and driver pulley is there, and you can say there is a 400 initial tension is there, and after when it is rotating, tension becomes like 1000. But what is original increase in a tension? Because 400 is already there and now it is 100, means increase in a tension is a 600 only. So increase in a length of belt on a tight side is equal to alpha into T1 minus T2, and here alpha is a coefficient of force required to change the length of the belt. Okay, and same as a decrease in a tension, because in a slack side tension is decreasing because rotation of the driver pulley, which is a T0 minus T2, and decrease in a length you can find by the alpha into T0 minus T2. And if you equalize both sides, because whatever amount is increasing from the tight side, it is decreasing from the slack side, so both value are same. So you can compare this both value and you can find this alpha is removed, and you can find this initial tension should be in a belt drive is equal to average of tight side and slack side. Means during the rotation of this driver and driven pulley, if the tight side is a 2000 and slack side is only 1000, means average value means 1500. Okay, so equation is initial tension is equal to T1 plus T2 by 2. But if you consider the centrifugal tension, you have to remove that. You have to put the value of centrifugal tension in this equation, and you can write this T1 plus T2 plus 2 Tc by 2. Okay, if you consider the centrifugal tension. Thank you.